Hey, Shalom. I'm going to start by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem HaKakwadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, who taught me the truth of the Holy Spirit to the Kakwadash. And Shalom to the elect. Today I'm going to be going into a video from ISUPK, okay, the leader of ISUPK. Okay, he fixed his mouth to say that Moses, fell out of the truth. Okay, and I've spoken about the ISUPK before. Okay, and these guys are demons. Okay, if anybody fell out of the truth, they fell out of the truth. Okay, they instructed their congregation to get the juice. Okay, they've said that they said many different things. I can't even get into how many things they said, but we're gonna address this one today. Okay, because the Lord, there's certain things that I speak on, okay, for defense of the gospel. Okay, and this right here is not good. Okay. What he said. As a matter of fact, let me play what he said.
I've seen him do it, where the men that taught commanding General Yohana left the truth, believe in some strange religion that's called Christianity under another name. They believe in it, and he still loves them, still honors them, still has the entire nation of Israel pray for them to this day. Still does it, because that is the spirit of Christ. And if you want to see this done again, you'll see that it was done with Moses in the book of Jude, where there was a conflict between Satan and the archangel Michael. And they fought over the bones of Moses. Give me that, Marav. You know where it is.
Kanamakan, sir.
Great dispute over the bones of Moses. Why? Because Satan knew that Moses had left the truth right before they found the land of Israel. Moses had already given up. He gave up and he was just done with it.
You see, and this is ridiculous. Okay, and I'll bring a couple of scriptures to prove that it's not true. But this is what you have to deal with in this truth. Okay, there's constant, sifting. Okay, constant agitation. All right, constant having to continue to go over the same things. Okay, about the same people. All right, but all in all, okay, this is all part of the Lord bringing out that net. Okay, that net, a wide net is being tossed out and it's gathering all kind of fish. Okay, but the defense of this one has to come forth, because Moses is Moses, for those that can receive it, would be Peter. Okay, Moses came back as Peter. Okay, so how could he, leave the truth? All right, let me get this scripture real quick. This is Philippians 1:15. It says, some indeed preach a Mashiach even in envy and in strife. Okay, and this guy, he always comes up with some kind of cockamamie scheme, okay, to gain views. Okay, because a lot of people do it, for views. Okay, they do it, because they see somebody else doing it. Okay, and they feel that they better than them. Okay, and then they put their hand to the plow. Okay, and that's being taught through envy. Okay, and there's a lot of people doing that in this truth. Okay, it said it's some also of goodwill. It says the one preach a Mashiach of contention and not sincerely. Okay, and again, this isn't a contest. Okay, you don't do these things for contention. All right, but hey, some do. Okay, but the Lord knows the sincerity of a man. Okay, a sincere man would be humble. Okay, he wouldn't be a contentious person. Okay, somebody that's always trying to make it a contest. Okay, because it's unfruitful. Okay, though you may get a lot of views in this world for that. Okay, really, the net that you cast it, all the fish in it, are not good. All right, and this is what this guy represents in his congregation. Okay, and are there good fruit in his congregation? Hey, quite possibly. Okay, and the Lord will make a man say things like this, so the good one, the ones that actually have the Spirit, can see these things and say, hold on now. Okay, I need to separate company. Okay, and that's all part of the sifting. Okay, sifting goes into separating, and hopefully, the people that were under him would, ease on out of there. Okay, really, you shouldn't even ease on out of there. You should run as fast as you can away from these people. Okay, but they do it, okay, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds. Okay, and Esau, Edom, and the rest of these Christians, they're gonna go back and they're gonna say, you see, the black Hebrew Israelites say Moses fell out of the truth. Okay, they're gonna go and say that. Okay, and this is what they're set up for. Okay, to add afflictions to the bonds. Okay, to make it even harder for us. Okay, to get the good fish. Okay, this is why they do it. All right, it says, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. Okay, so I don't address somebody on TikTok, okay, talking shit about the truth. Okay, and the elder Manata Zakba, he does it, and those are all beautiful lessons. Okay, the Lord put the Spirit on that brother to do that. Hey, and I watch every one. Okay, I watch every one of those lessons because I like the gift that the Lord gave him. Okay, and I sit back and I watch it and I enjoy it. But me myself, I address things like this. Okay, things that I wouldn't say is more significant or less significant. Okay, but these people are already in the truth. Okay, so they should know better. So this is what I address. Okay, it says and again, if you are in the mindset of rebuking every person that you see, okay, defending the gospel in every little instance, hey, more power to you. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that at all, because this is what we're set to do. Okay, defend the gospel. It says, what then, notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Hamashiach is preached, and I therein do rejoice, yea, and will rejoice. Okay, and I was talking to the brothers and the elders last night, and really this is a blessing for the men that, are doubting the leadership that they're under. So now you could see, that these men will say anything. Okay, they'll say anything, just to get views, just to get an extra couple dollars. Okay, because this is why they're doing it. All right. But this is only a few scriptures I need. Okay, and one of them is this one right here. This is the book of, what is it? Was it Numbers? Yep, this is the book of Numbers 27. And I'll start at I'll start at 18, okay? And now this is again, Numbers 27 and 18. It says, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushua say unto Moses, take thee Joshua, the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay thy hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight. Okay? And thou shalt put some of thy honor upon him. Okay? Now this was when Moses was about to give up the ghost. Okay? So this is all the way at the end. Now, mind you, this man said that at the end, Moses, he fell out of the truth. Okay? But the scriptures say, let God be true and every man a liar. And this is why I brought this scripture out, because this man is a bold-faced liar. And anybody following that man will find themselves in a ditch. Okay, the blind leadeth the blind, they both fall into the ditch. Okay, it says, and thou shalt put some of thy honor upon him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. And he shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall ask counsel for him after the judgment of the Urim before Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. At his word shall they go out, and at his word shall they come in, both he and the children of Israel with him, even all the congregation. Okay, so Moses was transferring leadership to Joshua before he passed away. Okay, so there's no way in the world that Moses could fall out of the truth. All right, and Moses was the leader of Israel. Okay, Moses saw the Lord face to face. Okay, actually, I have to believe Moses saw the back of the Lord, but he's seen the Lord. Okay, these niggas are crazy. All right, Moses was the leader of Israel, and he was passing the leadership to Joshua. It says, and Moses did as Yahweh Bashem Yahushua commanded him, and he took Joshua and set him before Eleazar and before the congregation, and he laid his hands upon him and gave him a charge as Yahweh Bashem Yahushua commanded by the hand of Moses. Okay, let's look at that word charge. Okay.
Strong's H, 6680. Sava. Sava.
Okay, it says the command, charge, give orders, lay charge, give charge to. Okay, so he put him in charge. Okay, if you look at the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, okay, it says to set up. It says to constitute, to appoint anyone over anything, followed by an ACC, I don't know, account of persons. Okay, to charge the command. Okay, so if Moses was about to die and the Lord commanded him to give charge to Joshua so he could be the ruler or the leader of Israel at that time, then he didn't fall out of the truth before he died. Okay, and if he fell out of the truth, okay, he wouldn't have when the transfiguration came. Okay, who was there? Okay. We see if he fell out of the truth, the Lord, Yahweh Shai, wouldn't have anything to do with Moses. Okay? But we know in the transfiguration, let's look at it. Who was there? Okay, this is the book of Matthew 17. Okay? And we'll start at 1. It says, and after 6 days, Yahweh shall taketh Peter and James and John and his brother, and bringeth him up into a mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was as white as light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses. Okay? Moses is a very prominent figure all throughout the Bible. Okay, and if he fell out of the truth, he wouldn't be in the Bible. He wouldn't be mentioned. Okay, not that people in the Bible didn't fall out of the truth, because we know that Judas, fell out of the truth. Okay, but Judas is nowhere near the level of Moses. Okay, and he damn sure wouldn't be in the transfiguration, speaking with the Lord, man. Okay. So these guys, these guys really are just a bunch of weirdos. Okay, and I spoke about it before. Okay, these people are these are really the priests of Baal. Okay, and the scripture talks about it. This is the book of Zephaniah, and I brought this out before. Okay, but this will show you, what type of men these are. Okay. Bear with me. Bear with me. This is the book of Zephaniah 1 and 4. Okay. I'll start at the top. It says, "In the word of the Lord, which came unto Zephaniah, the son of Cushi, and the son of Gedaliah, the son of Amariah, the son of Hezekiah, in the days of Hosea, the son of Ammon, king of Judah. It says, I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith Yahweh Shemar Shai. And I will consume man and beast, and I will consume the fowls of the heaven, and the fishes of the sea, and the stumbling blocks with the wicked." Okay, and this is going to happen again. Okay, the Lord is going to bring judgment into this place. Okay, and these men are laying stumbling blocks for the people. Okay, and they are going to be consumed by the Lord. Okay, it says, "In the stumbling blocks of the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith Yahweh Shemar Shai. I will also stretch out my hand upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and I will cut off the remnant of Baal." Okay, and this is who these guys worship. Okay, this is why they wear all black, and he teaching with his hat on. He got his sunglasses on. Okay, this guy right here has nothing to do with the Lord. Okay, what Lord he does deal with is Baal. Okay, because that word Baal actually means Lord. Okay, but it's a lowercase Lord. Okay.
Strong's H 1168. Baal. Baal.
And if you see the
And the form just below that, Baal. Baal.
okay, if you see how it's written in lowercase. So when these guys speak of the Lord, that's who they're speaking of. Okay, that's who they worship. Okay, and these are those priests. Okay, it says, "In the name of the Chemarims with the priests." Okay, and this is what that word Chemarims mean. Okay, it goes into what? Kamar.
Strong's H 3649. Comer. Comer.
And it says a priest or idolatrous priest. Okay, when you look in the Hebrew lexicon, it says an idolatrous priest. Okay, any use of any priest, whatever, but Syriac words relating to divine worship in Hebrew restricted the worship of idols. Okay, and this is the point right here: of blackness and sadness. Okay, and as a concrete one who goes about in black attire and mourning. Okay, and this is what these guys do. Let's look up ISUPK. Okay, let's look at them. Let's just get the images. Okay, and you see them. Okay, right here. Okay, in black attire. Okay, this is who these guys are. Okay, these are the priests of Baal. Okay, this is why they always having a debate. Okay, this is why they sitting at the table with Amalek. Okay, because this is who these people are. Okay, and you can see, in the back and on the sign, right here. Okay, they got the star, so-called Star of David. Okay, they got the flower of the devil. Right, that's called the fleur de lis. Right, let's look at that real quick. Matter of fact, let's look up the flower of the devil. Okay. And you got to be very specific. So let's look it up. Right here. Okay, and this is what it is. The devil's flower. Okay, let's go to It says the fleur de lis translates from French literally to lily flower, which is not, okay, or the flower of iris, an iconic stylized emblem consisting of 3 petals bound at the base. Despite rumors of esoteric associations with the flower of the devil, okay, an evil symbol that is historically rooted in purity, sacredness, and royalty. Okay, and this is what it is. Okay, this is actually the flower of the devil. Okay, it's not a lily. Okay, a lily doesn't look anything like that. Let's see real quick. Okay, right here. So this is from a Facebook post. Okay, it says this motif is the fleur de lis. Okay. Let me see. It says it uses a decorative designer symbol. It could be used as the heraldry of numerous European nations, but is particularly associated with France. Okay. And it's not giving me anything here. Okay, but you see in the title, it says the fleur de lis, the devil's flower. Okay, and this is what it is. Okay, but also, you know, back in the picture, okay, you also see that star, okay, that they prominently, you know, put on a symbolism. Okay, and this is spoken about in the Bible. Okay, but this isn't the Star of David. Okay, really, this is the Star of Chion. Okay, which is spoken about in Amos, I believe. Okay, it's what is it? Bear with me. And Lord, will you edify? This is the book of Amos 5:26. It says, but ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, okay, and Chion, your images, the star of your God, which ye have made unto yourselves. Okay, and if we reference back to Zephaniah, okay, where we went into that chimerems, okay, that they wear all black, and it also goes on to describe them even clearer. It says, in them that worship the hosts of heavens, okay, the stars, okay, the fleur de lis is a star too. Okay, upon the housetops, and them that worship and that swear by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and they'll say the name Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, but really, you know, they're doing things secretly. They're doing these practices secretly, and that swear by Malcham. Okay, which is really it's Milcom. Okay, which is an Ammonite god. Okay, and this is what we're dealing with here. Okay, so when you hear a man say that Moses fell out of the truth, okay, and you know he's looking for the bones of Moses like the devil was, he's worrying about that, okay, then I should tell you what type of man this is. Okay, so you know, stay clear of these people, and if you're in this congregation, there's no way you should be, okay, because these people are wicked and evil, you know, and they're very dark. Okay, they got a very dark spirit on them, okay? And, you know, you should withdraw yourself from them, all right? But I just wanted to, you know, get my take on it, you know, and Lord's will use edified. I'll end it by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem HaKakwadash. Shalom.
He did great things in his past.